Hello students, in the last lecture of chapter 13 AC circuits we had seen LC oscillations when the parallel combination of an inductor of self inductance L and capacitor of capacitance C produces electrical oscillations of desired frequency, and the frequency of oscillations depends upon the values of L and C. When a charged capacitor is allowed to discharge through a non-resistive inductor, electrical oscillations of constant amplitude and frequency are produced. These oscillations are called LC oscillations. Now, let us have the next and the last topic of the chapter, that is electric resonance. As in AC circuit with inductor and capacitor, when the frequency of AC is gradually changed at certain frequency, the impedance becomes maximum or minimum. This condition is called resonance, and such a circuit is called a resonant circuit. As we know, radio picks certain frequencies so that we can play our favorite channel, and also a glass breakdown in an orchestra concert. All these things happens, all these situations will occur due to the phenomenon of resonance. The phenomenon of resonance can be observed in systems that have a tendency to oscillate a particular frequency, which is called a natural frequency of oscillation of the system. When such a system is driven by an energy source whose frequency is equal to natural frequency of the system, the amplitude of oscillations become large and resonance is said to occur. As there are two types of the resonance circuit, one is said to be a series resonance circuit and another is said to be a parallel resonance circuit. Now first of all, let us have series resonance circuit. A circuit in which inductance L, capacitance C and resistance R are connected in series as it is shown in the figure, and the circuit admits maximum current corresponding to a given frequency of AC is called a series resonance circuit. That means we can say that a series combination of inductor of inductance L, capacitor of capacitance C and resistor of resistance R connected with source of alternating EMF forms a series LCR circuit as it is shown in this figure. So here we can say that the impedance Z of this LCR circuit is given as Z is equal to square root R square plus XL minus XC the whole square. As we know, XL is omega L and XC is 1 upon omega C. So we can write the impedance of an LCR circuit is Z is equal to square root R square plus omega L minus 1 upon omega C the whole square. Now, at low frequencies, inductive reactance, that is XL is equal to omega L, it is negligible. But the capacitive reactance, which is XC is equal to 1 upon omega C, is very high. As at low frequencies, over here the inductive reactance will be having a very low value, because the inductive reactance is directly proportional to the frequency. But the capacitive reactance XC is inversely proportional to the frequency. So as the frequency is high, the value of XC will be larger over there. So here we can say that at very low frequencies, inductive reactance XL is negligible, but the capacitive reactance XC is very high. As well as we increase the applied frequency, then XL increases and XC decreases, as we had seen, as XL, which is omega L. This XL is directly proportional to the frequency. So as we are increasing the frequency, the value of XL is increases, where XC, which is inversely proportional to the frequency, so as we are increasing the frequency, the value of XC is going to be decrease. So we can say that increase the applied frequency, the value of XL is increases and XC is decreases. But over here we can say that at some particular value of angular frequency, which is to be given as omega r, the value of XL is equal to value of XC. Just right now we had seen, as we are increasing the frequency, so the value of XL is going to be increased and XC is going to be decreased. And in this way, there will be some particular value of angular frequency will occur at which XL is equal to XC. That means omega L, which is the value of XL, it will be is equal to 1 upon omega C, which is the value of XC. As this condition occur at a particular value of angular frequency omega r, so here we are mentioning it as omega RL is equal to 1 upon omega RC. Now let's rearrange the equation. So here we can write omega R into omega R as omega R the whole square is equal to 1 upon L into C. Now this omega is nothing but 2 pi f, and hence omega R is to be written as 2 pi f r. As over here it is omega R the whole square, so we can write it as 2 pi f r the whole square is equal to 1 upon LC. Now in the next step we have to take the square root on both the sides. So we can get 2 pi f r is equal to 1 upon square root LC. And now we are getting the value of fr, which is the frequency occur at a particular value of the angular frequency, which is to be known as resonant frequency, is equal to 1 upon 2 pi square root LC. So over here fr is called as the resonant frequency, and at this particular value of frequency fr, here we had considered XL is equal to XC, and hence as XL is equal to XC, so the impedance for this situation will be Z is equal to square root R square plus XL minus XC the whole square. As XL is equal to XC, so XL minus XC will be 0. So we can write Z is equal to square root R square plus 0, and then Z will be is equal to square root of R square, as square root of R square is nothing but R. So here we can say that at a particular value of frequency fr, since we had considered XL is equal to XC, so for this frequency the impedance Z will be is equal to R, and this is the least value of Z. Thus when the impedance on the LCR circuit is minimum, circuit is said to be the purely resistive. Current and voltage are in phase, and hence the current which will be is equal to I0, which is equal to E0 upon Z. We can write it as E0 upon R. It will be maximum. That means as the resistance will be minimum, so we are getting the maximum current flow in the circuit. And this condition of LCR circuit is called as the resonance condition, and this frequency is called as the series resonant frequency. Now let's have the series resonance curve. As we come to know that at a particular value of angular frequency where omega is equal to omega r, the value of the peak current I0 is maximum. At a particular value of the frequency omega r, Here we are getting the resonant frequency FR, for which we are getting the maximum value of the current, which is to be denoted as I0. The maximum value of this peak current is inversely proportional to R, obviously, as I0 is equal to E0 upon R. For lower R value, I0 is large and vice versa. The variation of RMS current with frequency of AC, as it is shown in this graph, the curve is called the series resonance curve. And at resonance, RMS current become maximum. At this resonance, the RMS current become maximum there, and this circuit at resonant condition is very useful for radio and TV receivers for tuning the signal from a desired transmitting station or channel. So over here, by the series resonance curve, we can give the characteristics of this series resonance circuit. As first of all, resonance occur when XL is equal to XC, and the resonant frequency we are getting FR is equal to 1 upon 2 pi square root LC. For this frequency, the impedance is minimum and circuit is said to be a purely resistive circuit, and hence the current has the maximum value. Now, when a number of frequencies are fed to it, it will accept only one frequency, that is FR, and it rejects the other frequencies. That means over here, when number of the frequencies are fed to the series resonance circuit, so it will be accept only one frequency FR, for which we are getting the maximum current, and it will reject the other frequencies there, for which the current is minimum. So the current is maximum for this frequency FR, hence it is called as acceptor circuit. That means here we come to know that if the frequency of the applied EMF is adjusted so that at particular frequency XL is equal to XC, then Z is equal to R. The circuit behaves like a purely resistive circuit. The impedance of the circuit is minimum and current is maximum. The current and EMF of the source are in phase, and we say that there is resonance in the circuit. And the frequency of AC for which resonance takes place and maximum current flows through the circuit is called as resonant frequency, which is to be given as FR is equal to 1 upon 2 pi square root LC. And also the variation of RMS current with frequency of AC as shown in this figure. The curve is called as the series resonance curve, and at resonance the RMS current becomes maximum. This circuit at resonant condition is very useful in radio receivers or TV receivers for tuning the signal from a desired transmitting station or channel. And also we come to know that when alternating current of different frequencies are sent through series resonant circuit, it offers minimum impedance to the current of resonant frequency and high impedance to the other frequencies currents. In other words, the circuit accepts only current of the resonant frequency and rejects currents of other frequencies. For this reason, it is called as an acceptor circuit. Now let's have the next, which is the parallel resonance circuit. A parallel resonance circuit consists of a coil of inductance L and a condenser of capacity C joined in parallel to a source of alternating EMF as shown in this figure. Here we are considering a pure inductor of inductance L connected in parallel with capacitor of capacitance C. This combination is connected across the alternating EMF E. Let the alternating EMF supplied by the source is E is equal to E0 sin omega t. In case of the inductor, as we know that the current lags behind the applied EMF by a phase angle of pi by 2, then the instantaneous current through L is given by IL is equal to E0 upon XL into sin omega t minus pi by 2. Similarly, in a capacitor, as current leads the EMF by the phase angle of pi by 2, we can write IC is equal to E0 upon XC into sin omega t plus pi by 2. So, the total current I in the circuit at this instant, we can write I is equal to IC plus IL. As we know the value of IC, which is E0 upon XC into sin omega t plus pi by 2, and IL is E0 upon XL into sin omega t minus pi by 2. So, let us substitute the value here of IC and IL. So, we can write I is equal to summation of IL and IC as E0 upon XL into sin omega t minus pi by 2 plus E0 upon XC into sin omega t plus pi by 2. Now, in the next step, we have to write down the value of sin theta minus pi by 2, which comes to us as minus cos theta. As here the value of theta here we are considering as omega t. So, the value of sin omega t minus pi by 2 we can write as minus cos omega t. And hence the term E0 upon XL into sin omega t minus pi by 2 is to be written as E0 upon XL into minus cos omega t. Then sin omega t plus pi by 2, over here we can write as cos omega t, and the term E0 upon XC into sin omega t plus pi by 2 we can write E0 upon XC into cos omega t. So, here the current I becomes E0 upon XL into minus cos omega t, then plus E0 upon XC into cos omega t. Now, in both the term, here we can take E0 cos omega t as common, and hence we can write this step as E0 cos omega t, and in bracket the remaining terms, as we had taken out common E0 cos omega t. So, from here minus 1 upon XL is remaining. So, here we have to write in the bracket minus 1 upon XL. And from another term, as we had taken out common E0 cos omega t common. So, remaining plus 1 upon XC is remaining. So, here in the bracket we can write plus 1 upon XC. So, here we can write the total current I in the circuit at this instant as E0 cos omega t in bracket 1 upon XC minus 1 upon XL. As we know that XC is nothing but 1 upon omega c, and here we have to write down the value of 1 upon XC. So, it will be omega c only. Similarly, we know that XL is equal to omega L, and value of 1 upon XL will be 1 upon omega L. So, finally we can write the total current I in the circuit at this instant is I is equal to E0 cos omega t in bracket omega c minus 1 upon omega L. And we find that as I is minimum when omega c minus 1 upon omega L is 0. That is, as omega c is equal to 1 upon omega L, we are getting the minimum current flow in the circuit, and hence when we rearrange this equation, so we are getting omega square is equal to 1 upon LC, and hence omega will be is equal to square root of LC, as we had taken square root on both the side. Omega is nothing but is equal to 2 pi f, and this is the particular frequency. So here we can write it as 2 pi f r, which is equal to 1 upon square root LC. And finally here we are getting a particular value of frequency at which we are getting the minimum current there is equal to 1 upon 2 pi square root LC, where this Fr is called resonant frequency. Therefore, at parallel resonant circuit, here we can say that at the parallel resonant frequency Fr, I will be minimum. At this particular value of frequency Fr, we are getting the minimum current flow in the parallel resonant circuit, and hence the circuit allows the minimum current to flow through it, as shown in this graph, which is called as the parallel resonant curve. The impedance is maximum at this frequency, as minimum current is to be flow through it, and the circuit is called as the parallel resonance circuit. A parallel resonant circuit is very useful in wireless transmission or radio communication and filter circuits there. So over here in the parallel resonant circuit, we are getting at a particular value of frequency. At resonant frequency, the impedance is maximum and minimum current is to be flow through it. So here we can give the characteristics of the parallel resonance circuit, as first of all the resonance occur when XL is equal to XC, that is when omega C is equal to 1 upon omega L. We are getting the resonant frequency Fr, which is equal to 1 upon 2 pi square root LC there, and for this particular value of frequency Fr, we are having the maximum impedance, and hence the current is minimum in the circuit. And also when alternating current of different frequencies are sent through parallel resonant circuit, it offers a very high impedance to the current of the resonant frequency Fr and rejects it, but allows the current to the other frequencies to pass through it. Hence, it is called a rejector circuit. As from the parallel resonant curve, here it is very clear to us that when alternating current of different frequencies are sent through the parallel resonant circuit, it offers a very high impedance to the current of the resonant frequency Fr and rejects, but it allows the current of other frequencies to pass through it. That means for this frequency Fr, it will be reject it because we are having the minimum value of current, but for the other value of the frequencies we are getting the variation in the current there, and hence here we can say that the other frequencies is passed through it, but at this particular value of the frequency the current is not passing. We are having the minimum current over here. That means for this particular value of the frequency, it rejects but allows the current of other frequencies to pass through it. Because of this reason, it is called as rejector circuit also. So here we come to know that in a parallel resonant circuit, at a particular frequency of applied EMF, if XL is equal to XC, and hence the impedance of the circuit is maximum there, and the frequency of AC for which the resonance takes place and minimum current flows through the circuit is called as the resonant frequency. The value of the resonant frequency we are getting, as Fr is equal to 1 upon 2 pi square root LC there. Then also, when the alternating current of different frequencies are sent through parallel resonant circuit, it offers a very high impedance to the current of the resonant frequency Fr, so that we are getting the minimum current for this particular value of frequency. This shows that it rejects the current of the resonant frequency but allows the current of other frequencies to pass through it, and hence it is called a rejector circuit. A parallel resonant circuit is very useful in wireless transmission or radio communication and filter circuits. So here we had seen the topic electric resonance. Now let's have the example 13.5. A 100 millihenry inductor, a 25 microfarad capacitor and a 15 ohm resistor are connected in series to a 120 volt 50 Hz AC source. Calculate impedance of the circuit at resonance, current at resonance, and third, resonant frequency. Over here it is given that the value of the inductance L is 100 millihenry, which is to be converting into Henry by multiplying 10 raised to minus 3, and hence the value will become 10 raised to minus 1 Henry. 100 millihenry is equal to 10 raised to minus 1 Henry. Then value of the capacitance C is given 25 microfarad, which is to be converting into farad by multiplying 10 raised to minus 6, and hence the value of C we are getting 25 into 10 raised to minus 6 farad. As well as the value of the resistance is given as 15 ohm, and the value of the EMF, RMS value of EMF is given over here as 120 volt, and the value of frequency is given 50 Hz. And we have to determine the impedance of the circuit as at resonance. So at the resonance, what will be the value of Z, that we have to determine, as well as we have to calculate the current at resonance and also determine the resonant frequency. So first of all, over here, as here in this example, the series resonance circuit is given, the combination of L, C and R in series across the AC signal, and hence in the series resonance circuit we know that impedance of LCR circuit is minimum, and circuit is said to be the purely resistive, and the current and voltage are in phase at a particular value of frequency, which is said to be the resonant frequency, and the value of the impedance Z we are having is equal to the resistance there. So here at resonance we are having the impedance Z is equal to R, as R is 15 ohm, so value of Z is also 15 ohm. Then to determine the current at resonance, here we have to use the formula IRMS is equal to ERMS upon R. As ERMS is given 120 volt and R is given 15 ohm, substitute the value here, it will be written as 120 upon 15, and hence after the calculation we are getting the value of IRMS as 8 ampere. Then next is to determine the resonant frequency, and a particular value of frequency at which we are getting the maximum current flow in the circuit, and hence the impedance is minimum over there, which is equal to R, and the value of F here we are given by using the formula 1 upon 2 pi square root LC. After writing the formula, we have to substitute the values there. So it will be 1 upon 2, value of pi we have to use as 3.142. In the square root we have to substitute the value of L into C there. As L we are having 10 raised to minus 1, and C we are having 25 into 10 raised to minus 6. When we solve the denominator factor, so we are getting it as 9.9356 into 10 raised to minus 3, and the reciprocal of 9.9356 into 10 raised to minus 3 we are getting as 100.65. So the value of the resonant frequency we are getting as 100.65 hertz. So here we are getting when a 100 millihenry inductor, a 25 microfarad capacitor and a 15 ohm resistor are connected in series to a 120 volt 50 hertz AC source, the impedance of the circuit at resonance Z, which is equal to the resistance, is 15 ohm. The current at resonance we are getting as 8 ampere and the resonant frequency we are getting as 100.65 hertz. So students, we had discussed our last topic, electric resonance here, and the chapter 13 AC circuits is over. Thank you.